Hey guys, welcome back to Keeping Up with Birds, The Good Doctor Season 3, Episode 18 is out. A lot has happened, but I break it down into like 5 different parts for you. Case 1, which is an arm amputation case, which Dr. Andrews, Lim, Resnik, and Park worked on. Then we have case 2, which is sleep apnea case, which Claire, Shaun, and Melendez worked on. Then we have Shaun's gopwel journey. We also have Resnik's choice, then Claire's reality. But before I get into any of those, I just want to let you know that during the episode we see that Dr. Andrew is said, according to him, that he's having a hard time accepting the fact that Dr. Lim is actually in the chief of surgeon position. And also, she flaunted a little bit. So there we go. That's what happened. So anyways, let's get into case number 1, which is the arm amputation case. Apparently, he's somebody that we're quite familiar with, or should I say Dr. Lim is quite familiar with his story. And because of that, she has been working super hard to let him keep his arms. Now, even though the best option is for him to get some robotic arms, he doesn't want to because he thinks it will affect his work as a farmer, which is exactly how he lost his arm in the first place, which was through an accident on his farm. They do these surgeries to help him to see if they could ever get him to at least have 80%, 90% use of his arm, normal range use of his arm, but it doesn't work out and they have to do another surgery. However, he gets a blood clot, which causes them to realize that he has to be on blood clot medication for the rest of his life, and because of that he won't be able to do any follow-up surgeries after that one to repair his arm because his health will be in jeopardy. He could bleed out basically during the surgery. So before he starts his arm blood medication, that will mean he has to amputate both his arms and get robotic arms, which happens. The surgery goes well, and he actually kind of likes the arm. He's like, it's really cool, and I find it really cool too. He uses it to open a bottle, and everybody's kind of happy with the results of the surgery, and he's happy with the fact that even though he didn't want the arms, he has it. Okay, case 2 is the sleep apnea case with Claire, Shaun, and Melendez. It was a little person's case. It was their patient, and he was really a ladies' man, I would say. And he basically had some issues where he had to do a surgery at the back of his neck to help him with, the breathing and everything. And he wasn't too sure. They didn't want to do a specific surgery because it will practically limit his IQ and stuff like that. So they're trying to find an alternative, should I say, instead of saying Shaun and Claire, I should say Claire, because Shaun really wasn't at it these days. And she was trying to find one, but she couldn't. So Melinda sent her home. After he checked her notes, though, he recognized that she could have a different approach on one of her ideas, and he perfected her idea. Basically doing the surgery, having the guy have full recovery and having normal use of and keeping his IQ and his balance and everything of that nature. Now, the patient though tried to shut up Shaun with one of the nurses because he's a ladies' man, but Shaun didn't get DQ, obviously. And also he had his car bat up by one of his girlfriends because he actually had two, and one found out about the other and she actually ruined his car. And that was the one Shaun said he liked. I don't know what's wrong with Shaun. Anyways, we're moving on to Shaun's gopwel journey. Now, if you know what gopwel is, you can ask down in the comment section below and I'll be glad to tell you. It's a phrase we use in my country and in several Caribbean countries. You may know about it, you may not know, but I'll be happy to share my knowledge. So Shaun basically was home for the last 3 days. The only person that got him to leave the house was Claire. When he came telling him that it may make him feel better about the Leah situation. He came to work, but he was like a Debbie Downer and not helping Claire with work and treating patients bad and undermining people in their surgeries, because he actually undermined Melendez in this surgery when he brought the option for the other surgery for the sleep apnea patient, and Melendez put him in his place, checking like, you can't do that, we're a team, you can't be doing that. And he decided to actually leave and go because he's like, I'm not feeling well. And Melendez was the one that went after him and said, like, if you don't go back in there, you're fired. You won't be a resident in there anymore. You wouldn't work in the hospital, period. And knowing that he actually cared about his residency, and Shaun actually said he doesn't care about anything anymore and stuff like that. We also have Glassman telling him like how proud he is of him and everything he's accomplished and all like the romantic accomplishments he's had thus far, and telling him that listen, you're not the only guy in the world that has gone for a gopwel. You will go for it once again, supposedly sometime in your life. Get over it. Just move on. He does take a book though out of his one of his patients, which is the little person patient page, and decides that he wants to wreck Leah's car. So he basically goes to her house where her car is with the bat, and Leah comes out and he's like, "What you doing?" And before he could actually, he was like so like in a trauma because I guess the alcohol in the system, because he actually went to a bar where he actually met the nurse from the hospital and he tried flirting with her. He was like, "You have beautiful eyes." I was like, "Oh." He tried and he was drinking. So I guess it was drinks in his head, alcohol gives you liquid courage, I just call it. And he was going to wreck her car, but he didn't have the audacity to do it, so he just basically spilled the tea of how he felt inside through his mouth instead of his actions with his words. And he was like, "You're a terrible person. You're gonna die alone. You're superficial. You're prejudiced. Oh," and like he just hop from job to job, same way hopping from man to man. And I was like, "Ooh, he said it, child." Shaun went off on her, leaving her in tears, and he just walked away. I was like, "That's it, Shaun. Yes, I know what you're saying. I am such a horrible person because she has her opinion and her choice, but at the same time, she was leading him on. Guys, she was leading him on. Like, like something she would do, I used to wonder, like, why are you doing all of that? I understand you say he's his friend, but sometimes you just push the cord, and she knows how Shaun is, so like, yeah. Anyways, let's go on to Resnik's choice. So Resnik, basically, we know she has been having some rheumatoid arthritis problems for the last 5 months now. She came to Glassman and said that the treatment wasn't working anymore, and she decided to do a surgery where she had to take out the bone in her hand, which will give her full use of her hand again and reduce the pain. However, her hand health would deteriorate in like 10 years time, and she won't be able to use her hands anymore. Glassman tries to tell her that that's not a good idea because that'll just mean you can be a surgeon for 10 years and then what you're going to do the rest of your life? You can't even hold a pencil or a pen. But she was like, nah, she's going to do it and everything. Eventually, after having her amputee case and seeing how he was so appreciative of just having, even though he's robotic hands, he had hands, she was like, okay. She went into the surgeon room before her surgery with Dr. Lim, and Dr. Lim met her there and she was like, "You know what? This is my last surgery because I have rheumatoid arthritis for 5 years, medication not working, and stuff like that." And Dr. Lim was shocked. She didn't know anything about that. Obviously, nobody knows. And at the surgery, Dr. Lim even gave her, even though she wasn't supposed to, she gave her the authority to perform the surgery. Even though Dr. Andrews was like, she shouldn't be doing that. She's a resident. And she was like, chill, bro, chill. You don't understand. This is like her last surgery, bro, chill. But anyways, yeah. After the surgery, though, she decided, seeing the results and how everything happened, she's like, this is where my life is. That what my life means to me. And she was like, I'm not going to quit. She told Glassman, I'm not going to quit. I'm going to do this surgery. Glassman was like, think about it. There's different professions and everything. You can be a normal doctor and have your hands for the rest of your life. And she was like, nah, I made my decision, bruh. I'm doing that surgery. We'll see if she does the surgery or if she chickens out, if she goes through. We'll see. Then last but not least, Claire's reality. So we know Claire have a little boo thing. And she's been dating him on and off, back and forth and stuff like that. And things were going well, but then she ended up telling Melinda that she's never kissed him before. And he was like, if you're so sure about him, why you haven't kissed him before? Well, we know. But anyways, she was like, I don't know. She eventually ended up kissing him when they went out one night. And you can tell from her face, it's like she don't really feel nothing there. But anyways, she did what she did. Eventually, one night when she was leaving work, Melendez told her that being around her made him a better surgeon. and want to be a better surgeon and a better patient person. I was like, oh my god, just tell me you're in love with me already, like Jesus. But anyways, Clara read in between the lines, and while she was at a date at her boo Tang's house, she decided to leave early, saying that she was tired. But where she was going was to her therapist, which which we know she's seen, and she was like, "I think I may be in love with my boss," which is Melendez. Like, we didn't know. Girl, bye. Anyways, thanks for listening, watching, whatever. And what do you think about everything I said? Like, all the details. Tell me. And I'll see you next week. Well, this week. Yeah.